Hello folks, Verizon FIFA here for some more Ultimate Team adventures, and I am just going to dive straight into this one because I have a lot to get through. This is taken from a live stream which was done about a week ago, and this is basically an attempt to win the Advanced Cup. So I'm using full manual like I always do, trying to win the Advanced Cup. I was using my Serie A team because it's the only team I have. So this is my Serie A team with Italians and a couple of foreign players involved. Just basically trying to win the trophy. So this episode is entitled Penalty Practice for reasons which will become apparent very quickly. I'm sure you can guess anyway. But one of the questions I get a lot is when people are switching to manual, when people are watching some of my videos and thinking about giving manual a go, a lot of people often ask me, do you sort of have to play manual v manual? Do you stand any chance against people who use semi-assisted and assisted if you switch to full manual? And the answer is definitely yes. If you just start playing manual, then you will find it difficult to begin with. You're not going to be as good as you are on semi-assisted or assisted if you switch straight to manual controls and then sort of dive straight in. There's a nice roulette and bit of trickery there to get me one penalty, so it's going to become pretty obvious why the penalties are. But yeah, absolutely, you can very definitely beat people using full manual playing against assisted. It does take practice, it does take a little bit of getting used to, but once you've got the hang of it, there's no reason whatsoever why you can't do it. My Ultimate Team record is about 195 wins to about 115 losses at the moment, something like that. So it's very clearly positive. I'm not going to say it's necessarily easier. In fact, it certainly isn't, I would say, easier in general if you use full manual, but I find it a lot more satisfying. That's the reason I use it, and that's the reason I enjoy it so much. In terms of Ultimate Team in particular, Ultimate Team is a bit different because unlike head-to-head seasons, there isn't a manual filter on Ultimate Team. One thing I've been... there's another penalty from a roulette there. There is no manual filter on Ultimate Team, and what I've been hoping is that maybe they'll add a manual filter to Ultimate Team in FIFA 13, or maybe they might do something like a tournament, you know, one of the extra additional cups where you have to use full manual controls, or something like that. That would be really good to see. This is the final goal of the game. I take it around the goalkeeper nicely, and Di Natale, if you've been keeping track, has actually ended up scoring 8 goals in total out of the 9 scored in this game, because he had an Italian Serie A team as well. So 5-3 to get us going in the cup, and we have made a good start. 3 penalties already, and there's plenty more to come. I did get this message from him after the game. I didn't really understand what he meant, but people in the stream pointed out for me that what he was trying to say was that I should go and play the lottery because I was getting so lucky. I think that's what he was trying to imply, but if you watch the clips again, they were 3 penalties, I'm sorry. And I used full manual, so my luck is not really something I rely on an awful lot using full manual. So the quarter-final is against Barclays Premier League team, and this one was slightly more comfortable and slightly less goal scoring than the previous one. Krishito, the left back who plays in the Russian league for Zenit St. Petersburg, good player actually, and I picked him up pretty cheap. I would recommend him in a Russian or Italian team. Going on a dribble and Krasic taking the easy put-in, and then still in the first half. You might have noticed that I played some sort of just 4 or 5 ping passes around like quite quickly. You can do that on manual controls. It's easier on Ultimate Team. A lot of people say that it's too difficult to do. Di Natale doing some tricks in the box. You maybe thought I was going to get another penalty. Didn't need one, just smashed it in the corner. So into the second half, and he's starting to get frustrated. He's already had a couple of bits when, you know, when they pause the game or stop after something because they're getting annoyed. And ultimately here, John Terry just lunges in on Di Natale. He ends up getting sent off, and that will result in a rage quit. So we're going to progress to the semi-finals, but yeah. So I'm hoping that there will be more sort of stuff for manual in FIFA 13, because it's sort of growing a little bit. It's becoming more and more prevalent, but I think people should give it a go. There's no reason not to give it a go. If you decide it's not for you, then it's not for you, but ultimately I really think people should at least give it a proper go. As I say, I think a good way of encouraging would be if they put a tournament on or something like that, and made it full manual, so that you didn't have a choice. So into the semi-finals now, he does a bizarre clearance for some reason, I don't know why, and you can probably guess what's going to happen. I'm going to get fouled. That one actually looked a bit soft. I think the impact engine apparently is being fixed in FIFA 13. I really hope they do fix it properly, because I had a good run in this sort of this kind of route to the final in terms of the impact engine giving me the penalties I wanted and maybe one I didn't deserve. But in general, it does need to be fixed. So we have got to the Cup final, the Advanced Cup final here, using full manual, and we've come up against a Mexican team, Mexican league and Mexican team, containing a lot of silvers. So I was pretty hopeful going into this one, pretty confident that I was gonna do okay. So what I'm going to show you is quite a bit of this game compared to the previous games. I obviously blitzed through the last ones, just sort of showing you the goals. But something happened in this game that annoyed me a little bit, which I also found quite funny. But one of the things I mention a lot when sort of saying about people switching to manual is that you're probably going to have to get used to doing things a little bit differently. You might have to play at a slightly slower tempo than you used to, because you can't just... it's not anywhere near as easy to fizz the ball all over the pitch really quickly, play loads of really quick tempo long balls up the pitch and stuff like that. You can do it if you... practice it and get the hang of it. It is possible, but it's also just not the way I prefer to play. So as you can see here, I've sort of just built things up nicely. I've got a chance, but his keeper's made a good save and held on to it. But that was the kind of story of the match. I keep the ball. I will not fling it forward quickly a lot of the time. I will use it. I'm not afraid to go sideways. I'm not afraid to go backwards. And it's something I think I've said before, a lot of manual players maybe should try and do this a bit more. I think a lot of people give the ball away just because they're far too keen to go forward. I'm not exactly saying that my passing's perfect, but you will notice the counter in the top right-hand corner where I'm counting the passes for this move, because this is the kind of goal that I just love. As you can see, I'm not afraid to sort of pass it around. I'm sort of kind of stuck in a gap, waiting for a space, but I'm patient. I wait, and then there's a gap, and I get the space, playing a dangerous ball. Krasic gets on the end of it, puts it in the top corner. And you know, I know it's sort of a header from across, but that is the kind of goal I just love to score. I've built it up nice and slowly, patiently, waited for a gap. This is the kind of thing, you can see he just tries a finesse shot from a stupid angle. That's the kind of thing I really don't like to see on assisted. You can try it on manual, but you're hardly ever going to get it right from that kind of position. On assisted and semi-assisted, it does happen far too often. But anyway, breaking from that attempted finesse shot, I get in the box and he fouls me again, and we have got another penalty in this run to the Advanced Cup. Again, might have been a little dodgy, but I think he did take my leg. And Di Natale, 5 for 5, just like the number on his back. 5 for 5 from penalties in the tournament, 2-0 and absolutely cruising. And this is exactly what I'm on about. He is literally just out of nowhere, I've no idea where on earth my defence was in this clip. Flung his way up the pitch in one pass, he's through and he passes it across to score. And as you'll notice, he runs off celebrating it and shushing and all of that like a douchebag, as you do, because obviously the quality of that was so impressive, you know. I obviously had to see a replay because I just wanted to be amazed by it one more time. And I get a message from him at half-time that says, as you will see, this. It's a message I've had a couple of times before, but I really don't like it when I get messages like that, because I do use a style which is a lot more slow tempo than people will be used to, especially on Ultimate Team, because it's naturally so fast-paced. But I have a style that works for me. It usually works for me. It's usually very effective. I find it does frustrate players a lot, and that's just what it would be like for real. That's just realistic. That's how a lot of teams play. So I don't like it when people get annoyed. So I was going to try and make sure I won this game for good football and for manual. Unfortunately, Chiellini had other ideas, and instead of kicking away that clearance, he decided to head it, playing his guy Juarez, I guess it's something like that, playing him in, who equalised. So I was a little bit annoyed with Chiellini, but I was still hopeful of winning, just provided that I didn't make any mistakes, I didn't get unlucky. I thought I was going to be okay. You DeSanctis, you are a stupid, and I can't. And your mother's... Oh, screw this.